Hi, this is a video that I never thought that I would make. It's about the Arduino Uno Q. When I first heard about it, I placed an order, and then it took so long to come, and I watched a couple of reviews about it, and I thought maybe it isn't for me, and I wasn't sure whether I didn't want one at all or whether I wanted to wait for the 4 gig version. So I bought Nesso N1 instead, and there were problems with that as well. So when Arduino eventually fixed them, I tried going on to Board Manager and I couldn't install anything with it using the Arduino IDE. So I mentioned this in one of my videos, and a jolly helpful chap called Rob Randall said he had the same problem and that you couldn't do it using the Arduino IDE, but you could using the CLI. So I thought, right, okay, thanks Rob. So in looking for information on the CLI, I found out that you could possibly access the Uno Q using it as well. And at the same time, I realized that you could order something from Arduino and you could ask to return it within 30 days, and just for, I don't like it, and they would refund your money and refund your return postage. So I thought, what do I have to lose? So I ordered one. Now I've watched a couple of reviews of the Q, but I've never read any documentation at all, and all I know is that you have a microprocessor and a microcontroller on the same board, and they communicate with each other using a bridge, and then it uses things called bricks that I assume are functions, and you program it using the app lab. So I thought, do I want to find out any more? And I thought, no, I will wing it. So when my Q arrived, I set it up using app lab, which took ages because my internet's so slow. And I tried running, here's app lab, I've got running. I tried running blink LED, and there we go. So I ran it, and it would take ages. It probably won't take as long this time because I've already run it. So come on, chop 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 chop. I think it's doing something, but at this time, when I first did it, I thought other people have had problems even trying to get Blink to run. No, it's doing something. So does that mean it's running? It says stop, it's turned green. Green is good. So if I look there, and look, it's blinking. So I thought, that's the result. Something is working. So I will go back to that and press stop. And when I was setting it up, you had to give it a username and a password and tell it which Wi-Fi network you wanted. So I thought, well, if you've got that information, would you be able to SSH into it? So down here, you could get into a command line, and if you go IPADD, that's IP address show, it ought to show you, and look down here, it will tell you the IP address of it. I don't tend to do that, and if you haven't got app lab running, you can do it another way. I always tend to find out my IP address by going on to my router homepage and is that right? No, it isn't right. Come on. Come on. Got it. Right. My connected devices, and there you go, my Uno Q. Go on there, and there we have it. Great. So we'll get out of there. So I thought I will try using putty. Putty is always a good thing. So here we go. There's putty, and I'll go in 192.168.1.32. Log in as Arduino. Password. Hello. Ah, I'm there. Right, well, it's got in there, which is always reassuring. So I did an LS. Right, Arduino apps lost and found. Right, I want to look at the apps. So I went Arduino, whoops, CD, sorry, Arduino apps, LS. Nothing there. Ha! So I went back into here, went back to copy and edit app. That would do. Right, copy of blink LED. I won't call that. I'll call it my blink LED. Create new. Right, it's created it. I won't bother to run it because it's exactly the same. So if I go back into that and then I do LS again, there, I've got my blink LED, which is great. So if I go into that, lots of files. So if we nano, I'm not very good at doing things on the command line, nano read me like that. Okay, I have to remember how to use this. So control that will take it to line 1. Yeah, I'm there. So if I just add something here, I was here, write out is Control O, same name, and Control X. Right, so what has that done? If I go on to that, and then I go back to the README. Has it done anything? No, I will go back there, Ah, look, I managed to do it. I was here. Hurrah! So it means that you can edit your files on without using the App Lab, which is great. I will just pause it here because I need to think what I'm doing next. I've remembered what I was about to do. Now I want to see whether I can run it from the command line. So if I type in Arduino app, CLI app start, then it's squiggly Arduino apps, my hyphen blink LED. Will that work? Arduino app CLI app start squiggly blah blah blah. We'll give that a go, shall we? Well, it's doing something. It is definitely doing something. I'll move that out of the way. course it still takes quite a time, because it's probably doing everything that the App Lab did. Oh, it's doing something. It is doing something. Right, and it's working. Look, it's blinking, which is great. Now, there are 2 errors there. No idea what causes those errors, but it doesn't matter. Well, it doesn't matter to me at the moment, because it's just a simple thing to do. So if you want to stop it, you just do exactly the same thing, and you go, so to start, you go stop, which is great. And I've still got App Lab running, but to show you that it's got nothing to do with App Lab, if I just close App Lab down, then you can still do the same thing. You'd think it'd be quicker, because it can't really remember what it was doing before. Chop, 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 chop. Hello. Look, it's blinking. And I'll stop it again because I don't want it to carry on blinking. Now, this isn't exactly groundbreaking stuff, but it proves that you can start doing something with it. So what we've done so far isn't exactly earth-shattering. I've managed to SSH into the Uno Q. I've managed to change the files on it in my apps. I've managed to start an app and stop an app. But I think the main bugbear of using the Uno Q is having to use App Lab. Well, now we don't need to. And also developing programs on the Uno Q, saving the programs on the Uno Q itself, and having to use App Lab to develop the programs. I would prefer to be able to do it in VS Code or something on my PC and then transfer them up, which hopefully is possible. I would imagine that in future version of App Lab they will make this more possible to be able to transfer files from one place to another, because it is a bit limiting. Anyway, I think the best way to do it would be to use something like SCP. So here we are. This is PowerShell, and if you use SCP, now I've got this written down on a bit of paper because I can't remember it. So if you go SCP and then Arduino, this is to grab a file from the queue. So Arduino, because that's what I called the username, and then it's at, and it's 192.168.1.32 colon squiggly / then it's Arduino apps. What did I call it? My blink LED. My blink LED. And then I may as well just use readme.md. Is that right? Arduino at that blah 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 to, and it's squiggly Arduino apps, my blink LED, readme, whatever. And then I need to see find somewhere to put it. So if I go C colon / users / char. I'm using the full path because I always end up with files nowhere what I can find it. Now if I look on File Manager, I've created a direct, it's test SCP, so that's test underscore SCP, like that. Will that work? Fingers crossed. Ah, it's done something. Right, I put in the password and I think it's done something. Right, if I look in on my Windows directory, open it. Yep. Right, so you can do it that way, which is jolly useful. So I'll get rid of that. If you want to move things the other way, it's possible, I think. Right. Right, I will go in SSH, I'll go CD to squiggly, where am I? LS. Right, if I go back into Arduino apps, CD Arduino apps, in here I've got just my blink LED. So if I make a directory to put something in, I'll make a directory called test dir. Yup. That is where I'm going to try and put something in. So again, I've gone back to PowerShell, and if I go into test SCP, right, so I've got LS. Now this, so pretend that this is my, does it have anything? Oh yes, it's got one file in. This is the directory where I've developed my program. So what I want to do is move everything from here into the test dir on the Q. So in order to do that, I'll go SCP, and if I do -R, that means that every -R star, that means copy everything regressively, which means that it will copy everything in that folder, and it will copy subdirectories, and it will copy, sorry I'm mixing things, subfolders and all the files in it. So that's what that does, and then you just put it to the, it would have been so much easier if I just copied this line. Hold on. Right, so we will go back here, forget what I did. Right, regressively everything. Now it wants to go to Arduino at that, Arduino apps, but it doesn't want to be my blink. It doesn't want to be my blink. It wants to be test dir. I think I need a trailing thingy. Now will that work? Use the password. I think it's done. So we go back onto putty and we go ls cd test directory, ls, and it's there. So that is just a quick example of how you can move things around. Of course it'd be easy if you automated it and everything, but I've only just got me my act together, so I hope this helps. Just one other thing before I go. Of course AppLab is very useful for when you want to update everything. I don't know what it updates. I'm sure it doesn't just update AppLab, it probably updates the Uno Q, updates everything. So what I'm going to be doing in the future is every now and then I will open up AppLab, and if it says I need to update, I'll let it do its thing, and then I'll close it and forget about it, and do everything using the CLI.